I want to talk about something that I don't see a lot of people talking about, the dark side of spiritual awakening, and how, in my case, what I thought was an awakening turned into full-blown psychosis. I wasn't always into spirituality. If anything, I was the opposite. I was pretty materialistic, logical, agnostic. I believed in what I could see, measure, and prove. If you would have shown me spiritual TikTok a year earlier, I probably would have laughed at it. But something changed. And it didn't happen all at once. It started slowly. At first, it was just curiosity. I started seeing videos about synchronicity, angel numbers, people talking about seeing repeating patterns like 111, 222, 333. At first, I brushed it off. But then I started noticing it myself. Or at least, I thought I was. I'd look at the clock, 11:11, license plates, repeating numbers, receipts, patterns. And once you notice it, you can't unsee it. And that's where something subtle starts to happen. Your brain begins looking for meaning. Then the algorithm started feeding me more near-death experiences, people describing leaving their bodies and coming back with knowledge, mediums talking to the dead, and not just casually, confidently, specifically, people channeling entities like Bashar, talking about extraterrestrials, higher dimensions, different timelines. And the craziest part, they all sounded so convinced, so certain. And when you hear enough people say something with certainty, it starts to bypass your skepticism. Then came the deeper stuff. Hypnosis to contact your higher self. Guided meditations to access the Akashic records. Techniques to astral project. Kundalini awakenings. Breathwork to thin the veil. And I didn't just watch it. I started doing it. I wanted to experience it. I wanted to know if it was real. And this is where things started to change. Because at the same time, I wasn't in a great place mentally. I was dealing with anxiety, fear about my future, fear about money, a sense that my life wasn't going the way I wanted it to. And deep down, I think I was looking for something bigger, something that gave meaning. Something that said, you're going to be okay. And spirituality gave me that. At first, I started meditating more, doing breath work, listening to hypnosis at night, trying to leave my body, trying to contact guides, trying to receive messages. And then something happened that changed everything. It started to feel like it was working. The synchronicities increased. Or at least, I perceived them to. I felt like things were lining up. Like the universe was responding to me, like I had tapped into something hidden, something real, and then the excitement kicked in. And this is where mania started to take over. I stopped sleeping, or barely slept. I'd stay up all night watching videos, going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole, trying new techniques, listening to more content, reinforcing the belief. And when you combine lack of sleep, emotional vulnerability, and highly suggestive ideas, your brain starts to change. I didn't feel like I was losing control. I felt like I was gaining it. I started to believe that I had unlocked something, that I wasn't just observing reality anymore. I was interacting with it, that I could receive messages, that I could be guided, that I had access to knowledge that other people didn't. And then the voices started. At first, they didn't feel like voices. They felt like thoughts, but not mine. Clear, intelligent, confident. They told me things, gave me ideas, business ideas, investment ideas. They told me I could become rich, that I had a purpose, that I was meant for something big. And I believed them, because it all fit the narrative I had been building. This wasn't psychosis to me. This was awakening. I thought I was connecting to higher intelligence, to the greatest minds, to something beyond normal human understanding. And the more I believed it, the stronger it became. I started doing things that, looking back, didn't make sense. But in the moment, they felt completely logical, even necessary. I thought I was helping people, following guidance, doing what I was supposed to do. But to everyone else, I looked completely detached from reality. Eventually, it caught up to me. I was hospitalized, more than once, diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, bipolar type. And even then, part of me still believed it was real, that the doctors just didn't understand. that I had seen something they hadn't. But over time, with distance, with reflection, with learning, I started to see it differently. What I realized was this: my brain is incredibly powerful, and it had taken everything I consumed, all the spiritual content, all the ideas, all the patterns, all the beliefs, and it built an entire reality out of it. It felt real. It felt guided. It felt meaningful, but it was coming from me, from my mind, my subconscious, my pattern recognition system running on overdrive. And when you mix that with sleep deprivation, emotional stress, and reinforcement from content, it can take you further than you ever expected, far enough that you lose touch with reality, far enough that you make decisions you never would have made otherwise, far enough that it changes your life. I was arrested for things I did during that time, things I didn't even think were wrong, because in my mind, I was helping. I was following guidance. That's how real it felt, and that's why I'm making this video. Not to say spirituality is fake, not to attack anyone's beliefs, but to say this: there is a line, and if you're not careful, you can cross it without even realizing it, especially if you're vulnerable, especially if you're not sleeping, especially if you're looking for answers. Your brain will give you answers, even if they're not real, and it won't feel fake. It will feel more real than anything you've ever experienced. That's the part people don't talk about. So if you're watching this and you're going down that path, just be careful. Stay grounded. Take care of your mental health. Get sleep. Question things, because I thought I was waking up. But in reality, I was losing touch with everything that was real, and it took me a long time to find my way back. If you want to hear more stories like this, more real experiences, make sure to like and subscribe, because I share what this actually feels like. Not just the highlights, but the reality of it.